the business is about supplying interior fit-out solutions to our clients. Our clients being typically corporate clients, tenants with greater than 200 odd square metres of space, and we operate in Sydney, Brisbane and Melbourne. We have about 40 odd people, turning over around about $35 million. So one of the issues we've had in the organisation is being able to get consistent revenue growth and consistent revenue performance over those years. So we can win work, we now can win good profitable work, but the issue is being able to do that consistently so that we can grow the business in a consistent manner. A lot of focus over the last 12 months within the sort of sales and marketing function has been around the lead generation and trying to drive some consistency in the lead generation process. But we're a very sales-led operation. Myself and Andrew come from a sales background.
The issue we faced as a company was bringing opportunities to the table as a young business. So we've never really had an issue with converting sales. The compelling reason that we needed RPM was to make opportunities come through the sales funnel from the top, and that's why we employed them.
So we've had quite a sophisticated telesales function that generates opportunities and leads for us. But there's two things. One is it's quite inconsistent because it's people-based, and also it's relatively expensive as well. I felt that we have a good, strong sales function, and we've got a team of sales guys and salespeople that are very passionate about what they do and do a very good job in both winning and helping to manage clients. However, the marketing front end or the marketing engine of it was not performing very well. So the early conversations you and I had were very much around me mapping out what I believe the organisation needed to do from a marketing perspective and how possibly RPM could assist in that process.
And then you got to a stage of making a decision to engage. Still some reservations at that point?
Well, I think there's two parts of it. We're not a large organisation, and so we're not something that's made of money, and there are organisations that aren't made of money at the moment. But so there's a cost involved. So there's some reservations around the cost, and there's some reservations around what were we actually going to be getting out as the end product. So there felt like a little bit of a leap of faith that needed to be taken. So there was a period of time of understanding, okay, the process that RPM were going to take us through, and trying to ask enough questions to narrow that leap of faith. So hopefully that leap of faith was a small step rather than a large jump into a ravine.
The offering was quite compelling. It sort of synergised with how we do business anyway. So we work, our business is based on numbers. It's not the be-all and end-all, but revealing numbers drives activity in a business, and I think we recognise that. So it wasn't something that completely out of left field for us to understand. The reservation really came into the investment side of things. So, the story that was told and the sale, I guess, was one of those compelling stories that really you couldn't ignore. And of course, if you could, if there's a crystal ball and you could project forward and look back on success, and you could pinpoint the engagement of RPM as the reason for the success, then you'd pay millions and millions of dollars. But at the starting point, you don't have the benefit of hindsight. So really, it was about appraising the investment that was put on the table and whether, well, first of all, it was we could afford it, and secondly, what was really going to be the real takeouts and the output from it.
And the discussion Andrew and I had was, if somebody could provide us with a detailed plan, a numbers-orientated plan that would take our business from $35 million now to $60 million in 3 years' time, highlighting the number of leads and each numbers needed at each stages of the buying/selling process, would we pay for that? And the answer was yes.